All right, let's get into it. Have you ever just felt like you're swimming against the current, constantly fighting to get where you want to go? Well, today we are exploring a really fascinating idea called reality transurfing. It's a model that says, hey, what if you're not meant to fight at all? What if you're just meant to choose? And this isn't your typical positive thinking stuff. It's a completely different way of looking at how you interact with the world.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if the constant struggle, the grind, the endless effort, what if that's not actually a requirement for life? What if it's just a habit, a choice we don't even realize we're making? Transurfing kicks off with this pretty radical idea. You can stop pushing that giant boulder up the hill. In fact, you can just choose a different reality, one where there's no boulder to begin with. So you're probably thinking, how is that even possible? Well, the very first step is to kind of shatter our old view of what reality even is. We usually think of life as this single linear path that we're stuck on. But transurfing suggests it's something way, way bigger.
This quote really gets to the heart of it. It's this core concept called the space of variations. Just imagine this infinite field of information where every single possibility already exists. Every version of you, every choice you could ever make, every potential future, it's all there. Your life isn't a story that's being written one word at a time. It's more like you're living out one of countless life tracks or scripts that are already finished.
Okay, so if we can just choose a reality, then why do so many of us feel so, stuck? According to this model, the first huge obstacle is these invisible energy structures. Their whole purpose is to keep us locked in these familiar patterns of struggle and emotional reaction, and they're called pendulums.
So, what is a pendulum? You can think of it like a thought form. When a whole bunch of people start thinking and feeling the same way about something, they create this energy field, and it kind of takes on a life of its own. Its only goal is to get bigger and stronger, to keep swinging. And you know what its food is? Your emotional energy.
And let me tell you, these things are everywhere. Think about the crazy emotional energy around a political election, the pressure to conform at work, even the intense drama that can flare up in a family. Those are all pendulums. And here's the kicker. It doesn't care if you love it or hate it. As long as you're feeling a strong emotion about it, you are literally feeding it and keeping it alive.
So, and this is so important, you cannot fight a pendulum. Arguing with it, resisting it, hating it, that's exactly what it wants. It's the fuel. The only way you can actually win is to let it fail, to starve it. You see it for what it is, you acknowledge it, and then you calmly just turn your attention somewhere else. You become empty to it, and it literally can't hook into you anymore.
All right, so by getting our energy back from these pendulums, we can actually start to focus on the mechanics of choosing one of those infinite realities we talked about earlier. So let's go back to that idea for a second.
This is probably my favorite analogy in the whole book. The space of variations isn't something you create with your mind. It's more like a static, infinite library or film archive. It's already there. Your thoughts and your energy, they don't write the movie script. They act more like a projector, just selecting which film from that massive archive gets played on the screen of your life.
Now, even if you manage to escape the pendulums and you totally get the film library concept, there's this one huge internal trap that causes pretty much all of our self-sabotage. It's what transurfing calls importance.
Oh man, we've all felt this, right? The more you desperately want something, that perfect first date, that huge job interview, the game-winning shot, the more likely it feels like it's all going to go wrong. Why is that? Well, it's not just bad luck. There's a fundamental principle at work here.
See, when you assign this massive life or death importance to something, you create an energy imbalance. It's called excess potential, and the universe, which is always trying to stay in balance, has to correct this distortion. It sends out what are called balancing forces. And the funny thing is, these forces often work in the exact opposite direction of what you want, just to level things out.
And this is exactly how it plays out in real life. That desperate, clenched fist energy of, I must have this. That's precisely what creates the resistance that pushes it away from you. The secret isn't to stop caring about things. It's to reduce the crazy amount of importance you've attached to whether it happens or not.
And here's the mantra. It's so simple, but it's the perfect antidote. Care, but don't worry. It means you can still take action, you can still move toward your goal, you can care about it for sure, but you let go of that desperate, fearful worry about the outcome. You act, but you stay detached from the result.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's move into the actual toolkit. We've talked about the problems, right? The pendulums outside of you and the importance inside of you. Now, let's talk about the solutions. the tools for consciously selecting a new reality.
This difference right here is absolutely critical. Inner intention is what we're all used to. It's the brute force method, pushing, struggling, trying to force the world to bend to our will. Outer intention is something else entirely. It's a calm, quiet, unshakable determination to simply have something, and then allowing the world to arrange itself to bring it to you. It's the difference between desperately wanting something and calmly choosing it.
So how do you use outer intention? The main tool is something called a slide. And this is not just wishful thinking or daydreaming, it's about creating a vivid mental movie of your goal already achieved. You don't focus on how you're going to get there, you immerse yourself in the feeling of the end result right now. By doing this regularly, calmly, you're essentially tuning your personal energy, your projector, to that specific film in the archives.
So here's the whole process, laid out step by step. First, you drop the importance, which gets rid of all that resistance. Second, you make sure your goal is genuinely yours, that your heart and mind are on the same page. Third, you make a calm decision to have it using that outer intention. And finally, you use your slide to tune your frequency to that reality until it manifests.
I think this quote just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. Stop trying to edit the scene that you're in. Stop trying to fight with the other actors or argue with the director. The real power comes when you realize you can just get up, walk out of the theater, and go into a completely different movie next door.
And really, that's the ultimate question that transurfing leaves us with. Most of us spend our entire lives trying to manipulate the images up there on the screen, getting more and more frustrated when they don't change. The real shift, the real power, happens when you finally turn your attention away from the screen and realize the control panel for the projector has been right here with you all along.